What is up, y'all? So, first video of February. Shout out to Black History Month for shit sure. So, for the past 2 days, well, since last night, really, I've been getting into this. I used to love doing this when I was in elementary school, and I'm like, I don't know, for some reason I was just sitting in my room and I'm like, oh, I got some string in the closet. I'm finna do these. I did these two already. I'm working on this one now. I'm gonna figure out some more. I'm gonna do some more patterns too. I learned that it helps me to center myself and rest my mind, because, like, for one, everything that's irritating me or that goes through my mind that has irritated me, I just pull this as tight as I can. And like I realize, like, a lot of times when we feeling the type of way, all we need is a way to release. So being able to pull these strings as tight as I can, I guess that's a tension release. Hey, I've been doing this since last night, and I did these two. So I literally stayed up doing this, watching the show too, not gonna lie, but doing this too. Currently watching The 100, but that's not even what I came on here to talk about. What I really came on here to talk about is the test that I realized I've been going through. So, like, I'm the type of person, the reason why I name these chapters Lessons and Blessings is because I realized that God be putting me through tests, like character building tests in different areas of my life, right? So, not only am I learning proper work-life balance, definitely learning that one, but I'm also learning another lesson that I'm learning is giving unconditional love to people that love with conditions. Because, like, me, I'm the type of person where you get petty, I'm gonna get petty too. And you ain't gonna like when I get petty, because I'm gonna make sure you feel it. Like, I'm definitely that type of person, which is why I choose not to live in that energy. Like, I refuse to, only because, like, being petty doesn't solve anything. You just get that ego satisfaction, and I'm separating from my ego day by day. That's the goal for 2024. Yeah. Yep. Getting so uncomfortable that I finally change. Yep, that is the plan. That's been the plan, but that is the literal fucking plan. And part of that is learning my love language and paying attention to the love language of others, and, like, learning how to love unconditionally to people that love with conditions. It's been a real eye opener for me, like, just to see how the people that you love unconditionally will act towards you, and how, like, the thing that really gets me is how big their ego is and how much they value you when they can use you. Because it's like, the thing about people that love with conditions, as long as you are useful to them in their life, then they love you. And personally, I've learned that ain't nothing wrong with that. Some people, that's the only love language they know. And it's like, for me, I ain't having that. I'ma love you because that's what God want me to do. But I won't expect more of you than I know that you're not willing to give to me. It don't matter how I don't care what you are to me, because it's like when it all falls down, you're gonna save yourself. You're gonna look out for yourself. And when it all falls down, all I'm gonna have is myself. So like I'm not gonna rack up on karma playing two can play that game. Like I'm not finna do that. I outgrew it. Like I did it. I used to do it. I found joy and satisfaction in that part of my ego. But what I've been learning is that two can play that game, even though that's like one of my favorite movies, it's so toxic. Because like even in the movie you could see where they was playing the game on each other, but they wind up getting hurt by each other because they wanted each other. It's the same thing up in Love and Basketball. Dude was finna get in a whole marriage with somebody he didn't like, he didn't love, only because he couldn't control the one he loved. He couldn't have her the way that he wanted her. And it's like, and that be the thing. When people love with conditions, it's because they generally wants to control you. And if they can't control you, then they figure that you're difficult to deal with. So they're going to make your life a living hell. Or they're going to control the way people look at you. And it's like, I'm tired of it. Like I literally grew up in that space. So I refuse to allow people, places, and things to bring me back to a time where I once was. Like I outgrew that for a reason. If they still want to look at me like that, if they still want to live like that, then that's on them. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But in me understanding that it has nothing to do with me, I have to learn how to set the proper boundaries so that what they do don't affect what I do or how I am in my day-to-day life. And it's all, and that's something that you like physically have to learn. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna do this. If that was me, I would be doing this, that, and the third. No, you have to go through the lesson, take on the wisdom, and then part of you taking on the wisdom is figuring out how to apply it. And the application of said wisdom is your boundaries. So it's like you have to go through the experience in order to know what boundary to set. You can't just say, oh, this worked with this, so I'm gonna do this. No, it don't work like that. You have to go through the lesson in order to understand what it needs. So it's just like healthcare. Like, oh, perfect example is a kid when babies are sick and you don't know what's wrong with them. They're unable to communicate exactly what is wrong with them. So you have to read their body language. You have to read the situation. You have to pay attention to their symptoms. You have to pay attention to a lot of stuff. You have to pay attention to everything. And it's like, it's the same thing with life and your boundaries. Like with life and setting boundaries, I mean, you have to pay attention to everything so you figure out exactly how to antidote the situation, how to remedy the situation is a better word to use. Like, because every circumstance has a remedy. You just have to be able to find the right one to use. And that's so crazy that I'm saying that, because I'm watching 100, and in the first season, they that's what they had to learn. They had to learn how to live off the land. Yeah, they learned a lot of stuff when they was up in space, but they didn't learn how to live off the land because they didn't have access to it. So now that they have access to it, they have to apply their previous knowledge with the new knowledge that they have to gain. And it's the same thing. It's a billboard that whenever I get on the train, I walk past it all the time. It says, in order to grow, we have to unlearn what we've been taught. No, do it say that? I know that's what it means, but I think it says, in order to learn, you have to unlearn. It says something like that. It's a short and simple term, but that's what I got from it. Like, in order to grow, you have to unlearn what you've been taught in order to learn better. So the same thing with habits. Like if we got bad habits, like toxic habits, in order to get rid of those habits and to make better habits, you have to learn how to get rid of the habit that you already have. And that's the process that I'm in life. So it's like, Ankle Flyers doing these has made my mind more clearer than it's ever been. Like even with this message, like this message just melted my heart. I can't wait to go back and watch it, only because like this is what I needed to hear. And yeah, it ain't what I wanted to hear, but it's what I needed to hear. And the whole time I've been doing this message, I've been doing this. All goes well with these, I may start selling them. So if you will buy these, then let me know in the comments. I actually, cause like as I've been doing them, I started thinking about what if I add healing crystal elements to it, where it's like you got like a bracelet of this and the healing crystals around it, or like prayer beads, intention beads, stuff like that. Like I'm really down to do stuff like that. I feel like this one and like prayer beads will look really dope in between these. I would love to try it. I may just try it, honestly. We shall see. We shall see. But that's what I've been learning. Putting my lessons into my art. Like putting everything into my art. Like, and stop allowing the things outside of me to move me. Like, I am an unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable force. Why do I let other people put limitations on me because of how they operate their life? Like, no. Yeah, that's what we became accustomed to. That's what we're used to. But that don't have to be the pill that we use to try to save ourselves when I already seen that it's poison in itself. Like, and that's another lesson I just learned from the 100. Like, you could think that you're doing all the right things, but if you don't know better, then you can't do better. And then you doing that, and then you not knowing, people pay attention to that. Like you may think that you being an amazing leader and doing what you're doing, you think you hiding those wounds well. It's gonna be somebody watching, creep watching too, and they're gonna be the one that be the poison from the inside out. They will quite literally take everything that you want and love from you, all because they want to prove you wrong. They want to prove you as an imposter. Like, that's what I said, like loving, like learning how to unconditionally love people who love with conditions, and paying attention to the boundaries that you have to set with those type of people. Like, those type of people is what you're going to deal with every day. You're going to deal with people, like, you're going to deal with the art of war we're going to deal with the art of war for our entire life. Like, I pay homage to the art of war only because when you know the enemy, you know yourself. And you know an enemy and you know yourself, you need not to fear the threat of 1,000 battles. Like, because you have faith in your ability. You have faith in what you can bring to the table. But when you don't have faith, then you living in fear. And that's where you have the other part of the quote where they said that if you know the enemy but not yourself, then for every victory you will suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, then you will succumb to every battle. You full of shit. You just gonna lose. Ooh, wait till I start talking about that one. I got a whole theory tied into that. Like, thought-provoking too. Make you really think about life differently. And it's like, that's the stuff I have coming. Like, this is just, I guess I'm just brain dumping at the moment. But I'm gonna definitely have some real content coming soon. That's why I've been MIA for a lot of stuff, because I ain't gonna say I'm rebranding, but I'm branding. I'm branding, not rebranding. I'm branding. I got how I want my brand to look. Now I just have to do the work to make sure the foundation is being built. And that's where my head has been at. Making Shea Herbo into something greater than what it is. Bringing different elements to the concept within itself. And also like not losing sight of the fun elements of it, because it's like I'm a genuine fun person. I like fun shit. I like to do shit. I'm a fucking menace. I like to do shit. So it's like I have to. It's like a must. God damn. But it's like a must. Hey. Actually, I'm just leave it at that. After this last pull, your girl is out. Peace and love.